What is up, guys? Bobgar here, doing another cube draft. First pack, nothing that totally excites me. I could take Emrakul and hope for some cheap play-in. That is actually really tempting, even though I don't usually like first picking it, but there's nothing here I really want. Chrome Mox is another option. It's just fast mana, but it costs you an extra card. I don't know. I found Chrome Mox to be okay, but it's like probably the worst of the things with the word Mox in them. Other stuff is potentially better than Emrakul. Emrakul only gets good if we get like Through the Breach, Show and Tell kind of thing going. If we get those, it could be a pretty sick combo. But if we don't, it's not that good. So it's high risk, high reward. Impulse is always good. Venser is always good. Is it Signet? It's going to always be good. Maybe I just take Signet, speed up my mana. I kind of want to be spicy. I want to take the Emrakul, but this has a lot of potential to not work out as a first pick. Screw it. I'm going to live dangerously. I'm going to take the Emrakul and see what else I can get. Nothing super exciting here. Probably Demonic Tutor is my thought. Just is good in any deck that can run black. I think Sphinx's Rev is... Force of Will is obviously a great card. I don't think our Emrakul deck wants Chain Lightning. I think Demonic Tutor is more what we'd be looking at. But yeah, I'd be looking at like Instant Reanimator or some way to force Emrakul into play if I end up playing the Emrakul. But Demonic Tutor is like first pickable, so I don't feel bad getting that. Recurring Nightmare if I wanted to be on a Reanimate theme. I do like this card a lot. There's nothing else here that's pulling me that much. I could go green. I do like Tree Speaker in kind of the mono green deck. Could just grab a land, although none of the lands are in the colors we're in right now. I guess this one is. You go black-green. I got 40 seconds to pick, so I don't need to rush. Yeah, I think for me it's between Recurring Nightmare and Jiraga. Oh, those are the two cards I look at it and I go, oh, this might work. I guess we could go Mana Flare, and then the 15 here is actually only requires 8. It's a lot. Yeah, I think we're hedging. I think this is going to be in the sideboard. This is like, if we can make it work, we'd love to. Otherwise, we're doing this. I mean, Recurring Nightmare feels pretty good, but I really wanted to play green, and this is one of the best mana dorks. I think I'm going to take Recurring Nightmare. Well, no red cheaty stuff yet. Got a Bitter Blossom that I like. This is a good card with Tinker. That seems like a Storm style card. Doesn't seem like what we want to be doing. Green might be pretty open. I see a lot of green here. Haven't seen much blue. Looks like blue's getting cut pretty hard. I think I'm going to go Bitter Blossom. And then this has almost nothing. I could lean towards green. Maze of Ith is just always going to be pretty good. I think Maze of Ith is just probably the pick here. Wrath of God, if we wanted to go black-white, could be decent. Maybe we could go black-white control. That might be good. Maybe that's better than Maze of Ith. I think I'm gonna take Wrath of God and see if I can make white work. Maybe I'll move it to the sideboard for now, just because I don't want to commit to it. I feel somewhat committed to black. This is a really good black-white card. Oblivion Ring is really good too. I like Hypnotic Spectre and Rats. How many cards do we get back? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I think we get 2 back, 3 back, something like that. Well, for Reanimator and Burial Rites feels good, but we don't have threats to go with it. It might just be better to hedge towards the early game plans of like Disrupt with Hypnotic Spectre, or Pack Rat's also a discard outlet. It is the chance that we get... I really like on Burial Rites, and the chance that we get it back is pretty slim. I'm a pretty big Pack Rat fan. Get it out early and can build up a massive force. Some good white cards here. Necropotence I don't think is where we want to be. Sulfuric Vortex, I guess red might be open, but probably too late. This does fetch for white, so if we could get one of the 2 white-black lands, this could be good. But I think we're pretty comfortable here taking playables in white. And I like Elspeth quite a bit. Kind of got a white-black token thing going on. I don't like Living Death very much. Angel of Invention and a Dual Land are the two that jump out to me. Social Library for an artifact or enchantment card. I mean, I guess this can get Recurring Nightmare if we're on the Recurring Nightmare plan, but we don't really have great stuff to go with Recurring Nightmare yet. I do like this land a lot. And then I also like Angel of Invention. Fabricate is nice, especially if you're getting a Recurring Nightmare. You can keep getting tokens, and then while they're out, your token strategy, they all get +1/+1. It does fit our plan pretty nicely as kind of like a medium. Let's put her in, and let's put these in too, and let's plan on white-black. If we get shenanigans to put Emrakul in, I might go for it or splash for it. Could be that the land was a better pick there. It's a little hard to tell. I tend not to take lands super early, and maybe I should. I see cards that I like and I take them, and then I get to the last couple cards in a pack, and it's like, oh yeah, we don't have any fixing, do we? But no, if we end up being in a 2-color deck, that might not be that big a deal. This could be a good top end potentially. Gets back is permanent, right? So, Bitter Blossom, Pack Rat. Technically, could get back Recurring Nightmare if that ended up in the graveyard somehow. So it can hit a lot of our deck already. Corpse Dance is another reanimator. This is an instant reanimator, so we could use that for Emrakul. Maybe that's just too good as like a cool trick that we could do. Sun Titan's a really good finisher in this style of deck, though. Yeah. Sorry, Emrakul. I think that's the right pick. I don't know how we passed Lingering Souls, but that seems wrong in the white-black tokens deck. Actually, well, Mother's probably just better, as I actually like Spear of Heliod a lot in these decks. Heliod. The secondary ability on it's actually much better than people give it credit for, and it just boosts all of your little weenie guys up. But yeah, I think Mother of Wounds is probably the pick. Just protect your best threat. Relic Loader might even be main deckable. White, exile target artifact from the battlefield. Artifact or enchantment until it leaves. I think that probably is main deckable. I might leave it in the sideboard for now. I think we had a few things we wanted to wheel from these last couple packs. I doubt they will, but we'll see. I don't remember what they were. I just remember there were a few that I wanted to see wheel. Well, Maze of Ith is good. That we might play. This I don't think we'll play if we can help it, just because we are kind of white weenie, and this is playable, but again, hopefully not. So we're in white weenie splashing black. That's what it looks like. We got 2 Moxes here. I think we take the one that's on color. Bunch of good things to hope to wheel. Ophiomancer, Disenchant, Gideon, and Anguish Sunmaking. All would be great to wheel. I think I would lean towards wanting Gideon, but Anguish Sunmaking would also be great, and both Anguish Sunmaking and Ophiomancer are kind of like same tier for me, I think, in this deck. But Gideon is what I want as a tokens deck. It anthems, it makes more tokens, and we're like white-black tokens, basically. So we're running a pretty fair deck here, but I think it'll be pretty good. Gonna put this over with the lands, and a bunch of these are playable too. I love him, but I'm not sure him is where this deck wants to be. Exhume can be fun, but we're not super hard on Reanimate. I mean, we do have these two as good Reanimate targets, but I don't think it's super important. This is technically another token generator that we could run. It just goes in everything. No fixing for us. There's nothing super exciting here. I think the upside on him is pretty high, but it's also possible we don't get there. I like Baneslayer a lot too. It just hoses some other decks, but it does feel like maybe it would wheel potentially a sideboard card. I think we either want him or Hanger back. That's my guess. Knight is actually fine too as a 2-drop. I don't know. We're not very disruptive right now, so I think I'm going to edge on that, but we'll see if we can make that work. Liliana is also great. Spectral Possession is also... I think Spectral Possession we might be able to wheel. Revelar could make it in our deck. I doubt we can wheel Liliana, and I think she's really good in this deck, actually. This is a good reanimate target. You can reanimate him. He does not get shuffled back in, so I guess that's the other thought. And then we do have a really good white-black fixing land. Although I feel like Liliana is pretty good in this deck. Like, we don't even care about discarding certain things. Plus, we can discard our top end and then use Recurring Nightmare to bring it back. And we have a slew of tokens to use that with. And we can always discard, like, Lingering Souls and just cast it from our graveyard. Yeah, I'm gonna grab this. Moxes are good. I think Hero is where this deck wants to be, though. We might even cut the Wrath. Maybe that's sideboard because we're gonna be. It looks like we're. At first, I thought we were white-black control, and right now it's looking more like we're white-black weenie. I do think Ravs might affect our opponents more than us, but I still think Hero is pretty good. It's even possible if we really wanted to, we could go mono white weenie, but I don't think that's where we want to be. This you can reanimate too, although it just reanimates as a 13/13 flyer. Supreme Verdict. No, I think Legion's Landing is actually decent, but I don't know if we would run it. And the same goes for Porcelain and Legionnaire. Those are kind of in the same boat of like, it's alright. I don't think this guy's very good. I mean, I guess it hates out as a sideboard card. You can hate out graveyards. No lands in this one that I want, unfortunately. This one I would definitely take a land over any of that. Well, taking scrub lands, I think. Necrotal is actually... Necrotal and Selfless Spirit are both cards we're hoping to wheel, and we very well might not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we get 2 cards back from this, I think. Yeah, somebody's going to take both of those, I suspect. But yeah, we can't pass the scrub land. That's too good. Hopefully we get a couple fetch lands to go along with that. We're already at 13, and we have more playables over here, but they're just not in the deck right now. Like, I think this is quite possibly a play. Mezavith will probably take up a creature slot, so maybe I should leave it in here. It's kind of like a 1-drop because it costs some mana, more or less, and then it's a removal spell permanently. So maybe we're more at 15, which is right on track. Right on track for the end of the second pack, and hopefully we get a few more decent picks. Well, some decent options here. I like Fiend Hunter as a removal. Not the best, but he's alright, and you can kind of sack him and retarget him with Recurring Nightmare, assuming we play that. I also like Kalidas a lot as a 4-drop. Lifelink hates out a bunch of other decks. If you can get your opponent to kill some creatures, like with Liliana, you can put in a bunch of zombies. You can sack zombies to make it bigger. Man, I think I want Fiend Hunter. It just helps us deal with some things that are hard to deal with otherwise. Godpharaoh's Gift, Unexpectedly Absent, Rinwingmere, or Umezawa's Jite. Man, Unexpectedly Absent is pretty good. I could take Jite. I do think it's better in this deck than it is in most decks, just because we're kind of a weedy creature deck and we can give things protection with Mother of Runes. Unexpectedly Absent and Rinwingmere are also decent. Like, this is just a decent removal spell for 2 mana. And this stops Storm. I think I'm going to take Jite. Anguish and Making is one of the ones I was hoping to get back. Not as good as Ally of Zendikar, which I was hoping for more. Disenchant, also really good. I think I'm going to take Anguish and Making to answer anything. So far, I'm liking how this deck looks. It's just going to be kind of a green value tempo deck. Well, I got 3 back that I could play. Hanger back is the most flexible, although you probably usually play it as a 2-drop, but it definitely does go into the token theme, gives us a little protection against things like sweepers. I do like Baneslayer a lot. I think it just beats a lot of decks, and we don't have too much high end, and this gets us some lands, puts in a beater early, wears a sword really well. Well, I was going to switch to Baneslayer at the last minute, but I missed it, so we got Knight. I think Knight is playable. Alright, we got the white-black land back. Ooh, Spectral Possession would be good too, but I think we just need to get lands now. I think if I wanted Spectral, I needed to take it earlier. So coming into this last pack, there's definitely some good things we could pick up, but mostly we need fixing. Because this 19 is almost playable, and we actually probably have a full deck if you include the cards I could bring in from the sideboard. Bring in the Signet. We could play it just to speed up our mana if we want to. It's black-green, one of the 2 colors we're running, so wouldn't be bad just to jam in there to speed us up towards our 4-drops. I really want to play him, but it might be aggressive in the main board just because double black might end up being hard, so I'm going to move it to the sideboard for now. Porcelain Legionnaire is a decent 2-drop, unless I wanted to go Supreme Verdict as a splash, but I don't think I do. another Wrath. So we could be running a whole bunch of Wraths if we want. I do think Wraths are really powerful in this type of format, but the problem is we are a super heavy creature deck, so the Wraths are almost better for our opponents than us in most cases. And Reflector Mage, one of my favorite cards, but obviously not playing that one. That one's not in the playable camp. All right, another Mox. We probably slam Mox here. I like Sword a lot. Wall of Omens and Vampire Nighthawk are also decent in the Recurring Nightmare deck. Well, especially Wall of Omens is decent in the Recurring Nightmare deck, but I think we just want to speed our mana up. We got 2 Moxes. I don't think we should pass them. All right. Well, this is one of my favorite cards ever, but we can't make it work now. I mean, this would be pretty good in our deck, but I think we need the removal, so I'm going to go Path here. There's no other real options. Through the Breach would be great with Emrakul, but it's a little late to go red, so I'm just going to grab Path. We kind of passed up on the Through the Breach plan, unfortunately. If I end up seeing Sneak Attack in this last pack, I'm going to be so sad. Maybe I should have tried to do a Broken Shenanigans deck. This is definitely kind of a like normal white-black tempo control type deck. So I could see an argument for Toxic. We don't have that many tiny creatures, and we could definitely play around it and make it work. I don't think Monastery Mentor is good enough for us. How many non-creatures do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I guess we do have 10 out of our 20 cards, so about half are non-creatures. And this does make tokens, so maybe this is just good right now. I mean, I guess I kind of don't think about the fact that I have a lot of, like, planeswalkers and token producing spells, so this might be fine. This would fix our mana really well. I think I'm going to take Mentor, though. I think it's going to be better for us. We already have a bunch of Wraths, and I don't think killing our lands is that good. Well, this is the... I'm passing a lot of things I really like here. Smuggler's Copter, I think, is bonkers in this deck, especially with Recurring Nightmare. This is a Planeswalker I like a lot, Gideon, and Brimaz I actually think is really good in this deck too, but I just don't think we can pass the lands. We are a little weak on lands anyway. Show and Tell, another one that I would have played if I had gotten it in pack 1, like pack 1, pick 2 with our Emrakul, but unfortunately things did not go that way. Probably playing Banisher Priest. The only question is, I have Fiend Hunter already. Am I really going to want a second Fiend Hunter style effect? I might just be better off going Go for the Throat here. I think actually I probably am. I think I'm just going to go for the Throat. I guess the other option is like Mutavault as a man land to attack in. I'm going to go for the Throat. Necrotol, I like. Imperial Seal is good, but admittedly we're not really a combo deck. I mean, I think I still play Demonic Tutor. I don't know if I play a tutor which also gives us card advantage, because giving us card advantage is pretty bad in this style of deck where you're just kind of like a weenie tokens deck. You don't necessarily really want to like give up card advantage for what, tutoring Liliana or Lingering Souls. I just don't know if those are really worth it. I mean, maybe it's worth it to tutor Sun Titan late, but Linvala is good, but probably would end up being a sideboard card, so I think Necrotol is where I want to be on this. Gideon, I think this guy's actually pretty good. I like Hedron Archive quite a bit too. Putrid Imp's not really playable for us. Parallax Wave is alright. Kitchen Finks is actually pretty good too, especially with Recurring Nightmare, so I can see an argument for taking one of these two probably. I like Planeswalkers. Let's go with the Planeswalker. I think we can put enough early pressure on to have this guy survive. I think Student of Warfare would be playable, but I think Vindicate's going to be better. So I think I take Vindicate. Wasteland could be alright too. We have way more than enough playables though. We're swimming in playables. Some of these are going to get cut. Porcelain Legionnaire might be the easiest cut. Just I don't think he's that good. I think Knight's probably better, but it might depend whether we're on the player on the draw. On the draw, Knight becomes better because turn 3 you can play him and then play another 2-drop. Sword I like a lot. I already have Jitte though. I don't know if I need Sword. It's War and Peace. Which one is that? No, that's not that good for us. Wall of Omens feels kind of bad, but I kind of like it with Recurring Nightmare just to keep drawing cards. It's a little expensive way to keep drawing cards, but I actually think it's pretty good. Vampire Nighthawk also would have been fine there. Depending on how aggressive we want to be, I don't know if mainboarding Wall of Omens is worth it or not. It's possible even mainboarding Recurring Nightmare is not worth it. Like, I feel like there's a package here that wants them. Specifically, I mean, Sun Titan's good anyway, but I think these cards are all kind of... well, I think we're likely to... We might play Silverblade, I'm not sure. So these are the ones that work well with... I guess this kind of does too. You can draw... If you're behind on lands, you can just force it to draw yourself a land. You can retarget that. You can retarget Fiend Hunter. So these are like... These are not quite as... The ones at the bottom there aren't quite as good, but they're still fine. Armageddon. I don't think it makes the deck, but I'll take it. I think this is the first draft where I drafted enough dual lands to not have my mana base be totally terrible. Marsh Flat, Scrubland, Concealed Courtyard. And Marsh Flats can obviously get Scrubland, as could any other fetch that I could get that could get white or black, but I haven't really seen any. Mox Jet will be nice too. Well, Gideon or Brimaz. I like Gideon a lot. Let me sort by converted mana cost. Could go Mana Tithe too. Mana Tithe's pretty funny, and we could use more 1-drops. Could stop some broken stuff. No, I went Gideon. I don't know if there's a world where we ever play Bannership Priest. It might just be better to go with a manland, even though we probably don't play that either. But, like, you can strap a Umezawa's Jitte up to a Mutavault and get in. If you need to in a pinch. Or if you need to pressure a Planeswalker or something. Yeah, we've got a lot of cuts to make, and this one's going to be hard to make cuts. I definitely want Vindicate. Anguished Unmaking I could cut. Definitely not as good as Vindicate. Basically, it's just a strictly worse Vindicate. It's a Vindicate, but you can't target... well, I shouldn't say strictly worse. It's instant speed instead of sorcery speed, but you can't target lands is the big thing. And you also lose 3 life, so... A lot of downside to get to being sorcery instant speed instead of sorcery speed. I don't think it's usually worth it. Legion's Landing I could see cutting, although we are a tokens deck, so Legion's Landing doesn't feel that bad in a tokens deck. Wow. So nobody's doing anything broken? Imperial Seal should not be going... Like, this is a first pickable card. There's no way this should go second to last pick pack 3. That's absolutely crazy to me. Like, somebody's got to be tinkering or something. And any deck that's doing, like, that kind of stuff really wants Imperial Seal. So, alright, well, I think we built a pretty good deck. I think this is going to be pretty good. I think we want to run 17 lands. I could see going to 16 if we push down on our curve a little bit. Our curve isn't super high, but I still think it's probably a 17 land deck. A little bit of the 1-drop. I think there's like one other 1-drop I could move over if I wanted to. I could certainly move over Soldier of the Pantheon. There's a few cards over here that are like maybes. Oh, there's another 1-drop I can move over. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I just didn't draft it. I think I was thinking about it and I ended up with like another 5-drop or something, which is probably good. We really did kind of need a few big drops over here. All right, so we got a deck here. Gonna want to sculpt it out a little bit. I mean, we definitely could, if we wanted to, we could remove the creature package, like, and we're gonna have to remove some things anyway, and I think they're gonna be parts of the creature package. Legion's Landing I don't like a lot, but I do think we want to turn 1 play, and I think we can flip it. I don't know, it is just a 1/1 lifelink though. So it doesn't feel very good until you flip it. Wall of Omens doesn't feel like what this deck wants to do. That's the one knock against Wall of Omens. Him at least feels like what the deck wants to do. I think wtih is good enough to run. Is this a May? Yeah, May. So if I had wtih out and this guy, I could still choose not to target. I think he's good enough. Knight of the White Orchid wears wtih well, but he is just a 2/2 that sometimes gets you a land. 2/2 first strike, but still. Pack Rat I like. Go for the Throat I think is worth it. Can't hit artifacts, I believe, right? But any other creature. Even in this deck, which doesn't really have combo pieces, I think Tutor is worth it. I mean, late game can turn it into a Sun Titan or an Angel of Invention, and early game you can turn it into, you know, Recurring Nightmare, Liliana the Veil, Vindicate. Just grab whatever you absolutely need. Group creatures separately. That's what I wanted. So I'm just doing this mostly to make sure Monastery Mentor makes sense, which is non-creature spells give you stuff, and this doesn't count, but that's fine. Maybe I don't even want to run that. I feel like I probably do, but I'm not sure. Maybe it's too defensive in a deck that wants to be a little bit aggressive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 non-creatures and then 10 creatures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Because I'm at 24 right now. I need to cut something somewhere. And these all ended up off by 1 because of that. Maybe I can just say sort by converted mana cost to get it back. Yeah, that looks better. I mean, the curve doesn't look bad. I might want to cut a 3-drop. Man, stacks would have been great in this deck, actually, now that I think about it. I don't know if I saw that one or not. I think Gideon still has enough targets. I think Recurring Nightmare still has enough targets. I'm going to separate these again for a second. So what in my creature set is actually good with Recurring Nightmare? I mean, certainly reanimating something big for token creatures is good. I like the Planeswalker sub-theme. We're running a lot of them. I mean, it could be that Gideon of the Trials isn't good enough. I do want to have some nice creature threats. I think Leonin Relic Order is good enough. Like, it might come out against Burn, but almost every other deck runs artifacts. Pack Rat, I think, is good enough. Also helps turn on. Liliana and Pack Rat both help turn on Recurring Nightmare, which is one of the only reanimates you can really play just in a fair deck without anything to turn it on, just because it repeats and you can just, especially in a token deck, you can just get a lot of value out of it. I don't see anything I want to cut is the problem I have right now. It's like I could cut a 2-drop. Like maybe Knight of the White Orchid is just not great. I mean, I think that's true. I don't think he is great, but it's not bad. I still think things over here I want to play too. Well, let's cut Knight. Let's group together again. This looks good. The 3-drop slot is a little flooded. That's one argument for cutting a 3-drop. We definitely want Vindicate. Recurring Nightmare is fine. Is good rather. Monastery Mentor I think is good actually, given how many non-creatures we have. Fiend Hunter, decent. Becomes a little better with Recurring Nightmare. Silverblade Paladin, just always decent. I guess a lot of times you might just be hooking it up with a token creature, which doesn't make it as good. Maybe I do just cut Silverblade and run Knight for now. Maybe that's not insane. And then that brings it to 23. I think that looks pretty good. I mean, I guess we could run 24, but I think 23 is right. And then let's put in some Scrubland, Marsh Flats, Concealed Courtyard. What does it suggest for lands? 4, 8. That's probably about right. Especially because most of our black isn't double black. I guess we have a little bit. So that gives me... I could go down 1 more white and up 1 more black. I do have the jet here, though. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 black sources. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 white sources. So it's actually not that big a difference. It looked like a lot because it was 4 to 8, but it's actually 8 versus 10. Or 11 rather. So it's not that huge, and we definitely do have more white than we have black. Getting totally out of white definitely would suck. We have more double white too. We cut our 1 double black card in him. I I think that's fine. I guess maybe that's an argument against some of the double white 2-drops. Could go up something else, or just like I could cut Knight even and put in Mazavith just as a removal spell. I think I'm going to keep it like this for now and see how this goes. Alright, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Hey guys, Bobgar here. I just really wanted to quickly say, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. If you enjoy my content in general and would like to see more of it, subscribe. I'll be coming out with more content in the future. And please leave me comments and let me know what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, both in terms of production and in terms of my play and my deck building and all that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys next time.